Well, this is Doug out at Causey's Care, Craven County, North Carolina, 7th generation on this property. Every spring I like to build a few Bluebird boxes, and this year I'm planning on building about 25 of them with my good friend Lacey Blanton. And then one of the things that I have decided that I'd like to do is send some of these boxes to some of the content creators that I enjoy watching. And that'll be the last thing that I do on this video series is look at packaging those up and getting those sent out. But right now, let's head to Lowe's. All right, we made it to Lowe's picking out our lumber for the birdhouses. We got 19, I think they were 5/8 by 5.5 by 6 foot. So that'll get us started. Okay, we got our lumber, now we're loading it up, heading it out to the farm, unload there and get ready to start doing some cutting next week. Every year I try to build some Bluebird boxes. This year I've got enough materials here that we're going to be looking at building about 25 boxes, I think. 23, 24, 25, 26. I got a few leftover parts from some of my, from some of last year's boxes. Got a gentleman that's going to come out here and help me do some of that. I think we're planning on getting started on this this coming Friday morning. But before I ever start doing any cutting of the materials, I like to get to the point where I can have my last year's boxes cleaned out, washed down, and I usually like to put a little bit of soap in them, some unscented type soap, because if you get the soap in there, that'll keep the spiders out, and the spiders and the bugs are what really kind of bothers the bluebirds anyway. So we'll get that done and then we'll come back here and get started on this. All right, this box has got a nest in it that we'll need to take out. So that's what I'm going to do now. Because they don't like to build in an old nest. And you see how they come out. They're really neat nest. That's one way that you can tell whether it's a bluebird in there or not. If you're checking it and you don't have the birds in there, of course the eggs will be blue and they'll have a very neat nest like this. All right, so now I'm just going to scrape out some of this loose debris that's down in here. Check for cobwebs and things of that nature. So it's not too much. Some people actually come in and put a little bit of bedding material in there for them to get started. I had never done that and found out that it's worked fairly well without doing it. So closed up, and that one's ready to go. All right, this is the 4th box that I put up last year. I checked 2 more since I did that first one that we had to clean out. So that 3rd one had a nest in it that we took out. So let's take a look and see what we have in here. And we've got a nest in here, so you can see what we need to do to clean this one out. I think I'll just try using this nail and see if I can get it out. And it actually still has an egg in it that didn't hatch from last year. So we'll put this one up, put it over here with the other nest, and get my little clean out, and we'll come over here and just wipe this one out, getting the nail back in over here, and we've got that one ready to go. One of the things that I didn't do when I was cleaning out the nesting boxes the other day was to put my detergent in there. And what I like to do is just take a brush and go in and clean it out. Just to take this brush and get some of the remaining debris out. And I do it with a kind of a non-bacterial type of soap. And then I don't rinse it out because I want the scent to stay in, and then that will deter wasps. Because wasps is one of the predators on the eggs. And if a wasp nest is in there, the bluebirds won't even come to it anyway. So I just give it a good scrape down and leave it. The rainwater will wash it off. All right, we got it closed back up, and I just do the same thing to the outside just to give it a general cleaning. So I feel pretty good about that. So I think that'll work out. One thing I want you to see, because having a clean house for the birds to come back in, and sometimes they could come, depending on how the weather is, as early as February, start looking for their mates. And March and April, they'll start mating. Just completed the cleanup of this box. I put these boxes out a little late last year, and unfortunately, the bluebirds didn't find this box and didn't nest in it. So I don't know if it's something about the location that they don't like or just what the situation is. But I'll be monitoring these boxes. I'm gonna plan on monitoring them a little bit more closely this year. And if they don't build in this box early on, say through about the middle of the summer, I think I'll just look at relocating this box just like I would any other box that the birds don't find. Because in this area, bluebirds, they can have as many as 3 clutches in a year. So they can start in the early spring, midsummer, and then late summer. So we want to get as many out as we can. So I'll just be monitoring these closely, and they say when you monitor them, well, they don't say, but when you do monitor them correctly, you're coming out at least weekly, and open them up. You got log books where you can, log in when the nests are being built, when the eggs are being laid, and then as the hatchlings are hatched. And keep records of all that. And I've just joined the Bluebird Society right recently for North Carolina, and I think they like for you to actually report your findings to them. So I'll see how that goes, and we'll probably do something along that lines. Now, in an upcoming video, we're going to spend most of the day out here. We're going to go ahead and try to get all these materials cut to the point that we can start putting them together, because after we get everything cut, I like to paint some of it, and then I like to stain some of it before we actually start putting it together. So we'll try to have most of the cutting done, and we'll have it laid out so that we can get in here and have us a nice assembly line going. And with 5 or 6 of these boxes, when we do a final video of what we're doing, I'm going to be looking at packaging these things up, and I want to send to some of the creators on some other channels that I thoroughly enjoy watching, and that have helped me quite a bit in knowing how to put a little bit of content together. Not that I'm doing that well at it just yet, but I'm learning as we go along. So stick with us on this project, and we'll see if we can't have us a series and have something coming up next time. So be prepared for the build. Now, if you enjoy following me along on some of these builds, bluebird boxes, I'm looking at possibly doing some bat boxes and maybe even an owl box. But if you enjoy following this type of content and would like to support the channel, I would certainly appreciate that. I have set up a Buy Me a Coffee page, and if you'll go there and want to purchase a coffee, that would certainly be appreciated, and that'll help me to get out some more content.